Hello and welcome. This is a comparison video for Striker and Grandmaster. I'm going to do something new for this comparison video, and that is to let you know that the way that I always do the comparison videos is show you their skills, and then I go into all the enhancements of all those skills. So if you want to simply skip past that and go into all the details in stat form of what they have and the comparison of Striker versus Grandmaster, then be my guest. Go ahead and just move forward. But the purpose of this video is just to be very thorough, so that anyone who wants to create a character and is thinking about Striker or Grandmaster can watch the video, know what they're going to get, and then work towards it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in, and here we go. So first up is Striker, and in case you didn't notice, there's only Striker to Grandmaster. There isn't another option, and Pearl Abyss has it that way currently. That's just the way it is. So let's go ahead and show you all their skills and move forward. Here we go. Alright, here we go. Here's all the skills, and after looking at all of them, I do want to say that he's got a lot of really nice skills. The one that I thought that was, it wasn't the hardest hitting, but it was definitely interesting, is the skill called Disrespect. It's where you just grab your opponent and drag them on the ground and throw them after you're done. You'll see what the skill does when we go into all the details. But here's a nice list for you, and lots of skills to choose from. So without further ado, let's go ahead and show the enhancements of each of these skills. It will be long, so if you don't want to watch it and you don't want the details, just skip forward, and I'll go ahead and start up the PvE and PvP section for Striker. So we'll see you there. Moving on, here we go with the skills and the details, all the enhancements. So as I always say in my videos, we're just going to go ahead and go around the wheel. For this video, and probably going forward, you'll notice that I am speeding up a little bit more as I go around. The only time I will pause is when you really should take a look at this enhancement, because it's different and really changes the skill in some way. So we'll just keep going. We're on Knee Hammer. There's a lot to get through. And also, if you're new to seeing this type of video, if it shows like max of 4 attacks, I try to show you those 4 attacks so you can get an idea of what it looks like as well. And here we go, going around. And as always, if you have any suggestions, feel free to comment on the video. And all feedback is appreciated, except where they try to do advertisement for somebody else's website, where you won't see that because I remove it. Full Force looks pretty good. It's got 6 hits. It's just amazing the big difference between... Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. The big difference between Striker and Grandmaster, it's just the obvious. It's in terms of power. Striker is a good person, but it'd be nice if you could just up his power. But then why would you need Grandmaster if you got 2 times, 3 times more skills with the same power level? You wouldn't. But I did want to say that I did notice something going from Striker to Grandmaster, and that is there's a commitment when you are choosing one. they give you some stuff in your enhancements, but look at the skill level. I mean, it's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And for my personal character, the Archmage, getting up to that skill level can take a bit of time. I mean, even on this one right here, as you go around, 17 for extra charge. That's pretty tough. But what I don't know is if skill books just come at you and leveling is just so quickly versus all other types of characters that try to level their skills. I don't know if it's a lot easier for Striker because it's just Striker to Grandmaster. I'm not sure. So you guys will be the ones to decide and see for yourself. And also, while I'm recording this, I'm trying to get over a cold, so sorry about that. Trying to keep the coughing and hacking to a minimum. So we're moving through. We're on Spiral Cannon. Moving on to Pulverizer. We're almost at Disrespect. I just really like watching it. It's something. But this character is nice in the fact that they give you the obvious. They give you the stuns, the knockdowns. That's expected for a melee class fighter, especially since he just fights with his fists. It's blunt damage, so you would expect stun, at least, to stun or knock down. He's a street combatant, so here we go. Disrespect. Show them. Drags him and says, "I'm done with you. Take out the garbage." 7 hits. You notice that that whole move hits him 7 times. And I could see in PvP using that to chain. So, very interesting. I don't think I've come across a move like that where he just drags your opponent on the ground as I'm going through all these character comparisons. But it'll be interesting. See, we're on the Mountain Punch. And I did notice that a lot of characters, they have the bleed effect. Some like Musa, when he gets to Warlord, because it's a theme of fire, he'll have burn. I know that Meiwa has with Primrose has a theme of ice, so she'll be able to freeze, not on everything but on some skills. So it is nice to see that. Well, it makes sense for this class. He's hitting you, so you're gonna bleed. Just makes sense. Moving on to Energy Blast. And by the way, if you've noticed that some of these moves kind of look like a certain arcade game that they borrowed from, that's what I thought when I saw it. Can't really tell you the name of the game or anything about it, but if you play video games, you'll know exactly what game I'm thinking of when you see Energy Blast. Yeah, Hell Sweep looks pretty good too. And on to, I think it's the last one, Pummel, your basic attack. Yep, and there we have it. All the enhancement details. So with that, we're going to move on to the player versus enemy and show you our top 8 skills. I'll see you there. Okay, if you're new to this, now that we're on the player versus enemy screen, so what you're looking at is I grouped all of the skills that the striker gets by damage PvE column. And then from that, just visually looking, I highlighted the top 8 that would be useful to you in terms of power in green. So that's where I came up with the top 8 because your skill sets only can hold a total of 8 skills. So sometimes I'll look at the multipliers, like the very first one at the top, that's 3 shy of 100, so that's 200 minus 6. Not here to do basic math, but I'm pretty confident that it is greater than Energy Blast at 152%. So that's why it's up there, so I take that into consideration. But as always, if this is only a recommendation, start with it and see what you think. And if you want to change it up, be my guest. But here's the lineup and the reason why. So we'll go ahead and see if anything has changed when it comes to player versus another player. Okay, as you can see, skills have moved around a little bit, but the fact remains that when going player versus player, all of the highlighted skills from the player versus enemy is the same as player versus player. So you can stick with those top 8 skills that I recommended previously for player versus player and see how it goes. What I would recommend also is, for example, Spiral Cannon is a good skill, and definitely you can grab while you're in mid-air. But if you want to sub that out for maybe something that has super armor and stun on hit, like Knee Hammer, you're giving up a little bit of damage percentage, not much, but you're gaining those extra effects, the specials that go with it. So consider that when you're going up against another player. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the Grandmaster. See you there. Here we go. After achieving level 60 for your striker and going through all the trials, the trial that you have to go through, you come to Grandmaster. And let's go ahead and show you all of his skills. And here is the Grandmaster's skills. What you're looking at for color is the purple at the top is the 5 skills that you get when you ascend to Grandmaster. The remaining 7 that are orange are skills you need to unlock. And I'm proud to say, look at that, Disrespect had carried over. Isn't that great? Even Spiral Cannon. So so what you'll notice looking at the Grandmaster skills is that the power level has bumped up quite a bit. And now there's a few that are in red text over in the specials column that you get, but you don't get it when you fight another person in arena. So we'll go ahead and cover that in the PvP section of this video, and that's just a little bit later. So again, I'm going to move on to show you the enhancement info for all the skills, and after that it'll be the player versus enemy, player versus player, and then I'll do a comparison showing you the striker and the Grandmaster skills side by side. So here we go. Through the magic of time, I have unlocked all of the locked skills for you, and now we're going through all the enhancements for each of the skills to show you what they have. Here's one of those that I was mentioning, Whirlwind Kicks. There's something different. There's more information about it, so that's why I slowed down to point it out. because I think it does that twice, maybe 3 times in all the enhancement info. There's something that they put in here that just changes it big time. I know there's one that goes from a forward guard to super armor, so that's worth checking out too. So moving on, cheap shot. Yeah, this one. Ultimate Energy Blast increases damage by 3 times. I mean, wow. That just changed the whole damage output of this skill. It's now 915% for PvE and the 420% for PvP. Did I get that right? Yeah, I think so. Times 3. So they definitely, if Grandmaster is one that you like his style, his skill, and it even looks like the skill levels are not so high, then yeah, unlock these things and unleash this guy's full potential. Even this one right here, Ravenous. Just so much more. And you're invincible while moving. Perfect. So they did justice for this this class. And if you wanted to be Grandmaster, they definitely make Grandmaster worth it. So I wish they had eased back on the stuff you can't do in Arena, but they had to. Otherwise, people would be saying the guy's overpowered. I don't think they're saying that right now, because they're talking about nerfing the Archmage. That happens to be my class. But, yeah, no. Moving right along. And if you're also watching and saying, well, you keep showing me these damages like Ahib and Surret and Owl, these are branch damages. Well, I don't know what I should choose. It depends on your style. If you want to play this character for PvP, here's another one to pay attention to. How things are changing. Increases damage by 3 times. So to get back to that, if you are wanting to do PvP, you're going to probably want to branch into Owl and maybe maybe La Brave or Ahib. I don't know how you properly pronounce that, but it's a big toss-up. Owl gives you big damage on top of what you do, and then one of the others will add extra damage or crit damage. So that's where I'd be going for, is to maximize your damage output for PvP purposes. There are some characters that they want to hit as many targets as possible. So they're not going to be hitting so hard, but they will be hitting a lot more than normal. So, hey, look at disrespect. See, it doesn't do much for PvP. It's just 50%, but that's 50% times 7. So, not bad. I just think it's funny to see you drag your opponent across the arena. That would be good. Rising Uppercut. Very nice. And we're getting to the end of the enhancement section. You already know Pummel, just a little bit more percentage damage. I think the attacks might be the same. Yep. And Grandmaster's Call. So this is your heal. And here we go, the player versus enemy screen. So what you're looking at is very nice multipliers when you're out there in the game world fighting all the monsters. They definitely have did justice for you with like 4 skills that have good multipliers, so you'll hit pretty hard. So if you're doing guild rush with all the bosses and any event or anything that you are just trying to simply get through the storyline with, when you get to Grandmaster, yeah, you'll be very happy with the damage output. Big difference. So don't worry about the red text. That's just where it doesn't apply to Arena. So that's the next slide on where we stand with the top 8 skills for player versus player. So we'll see if there's a difference. See you there. Okay, here is the player versus player, and as you can see, the percentages are going to be lower in PvP versus the PvE. That's just the way the game is for every character. They don't do it straight across. So what we're looking at now is we're looking at some good percentages. It looks like the top 8 I gave you for PvE does not change for PvP, but you do have some things to think about, and that is Gale Force doesn't have super armor in the arena. Maybe in Ramonis, I'm not sure, but you have 3 of the top 8 skills I recommend that don't work in Arena. So if you were to swap it out, maybe Spiral Cannon and Disrespect, maybe throw Grandmaster's Call if you're very, very comfortable with your character and you can get that heal in. That could probably be the difference between winning a fight or losing. So, but Disrespect and Spiral Cannon I see as skills that link. You're trying to get a combo going, so you try one, you jump into that, and then come out of it and go right into another one. So these might be good skills to connect to others. So if you're trying to remove 3, that would probably be it. I mean, Pummel is your basic attack, so I guess all you have left is those 3 if you wanted to change them out. But try it and see what you think. So we're going to jump into the last section, which is a comparison of Striker and Grandmaster. And if you are just jumping to this section, well then this will be an easy printout for you so you can visually see the difference between the 2 characters themselves. So let's go ahead and show that to you, and I'll see you there. Here you go. Here is the comparison screen. If you've watched the video from start all the way up to this point, it's no surprise that the Striker has twice as many skills that just don't hit very hard. So a lot of technical you need to do to get your opponent down, but you got a lot of skills to work with. Versus Grandmaster, who hits very hard compared to Striker, and not so many skills, but still worth ascending to. So if you want to print this out, in your decision making on whether you would like to do a Grandmaster or just simply enjoy the Striker, that's why this is here. So I'm going to go ahead and show a picture of both of those characters again and say thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please comment or like and subscribe, and I'll keep making lots of videos for you to enjoy so that you can know a lot more about Black Desert Mobile. Thank you very much. Have a good one.